Hi again. I am Fathom, and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations, and today I am going to show you how to make a granny square. It's just going to be a cute little tutorial, and I thought you'd want to see my face before I actually showed you, so let's do it! Yay! Okay, so we're going to note off the bat that you can use any hook size to make a granny square with. For today, I'm going to be using a 5.5mm, also known as an I-9 hook. It is an ergonomic hook, which is what this handle part is. Makes it easier for me to hold. This one is from Hobby Lobby. It was a donation. You can also use any yarn weight to make granny squares out of. I'm going to use some leftover yarn from last week's project. I have two different colors, so I can show you how to color change. So we're going to start with the smaller ball, just to make things easier. Everybody does granny squares a little bit differently, so I'm just going to show you how I do mine. Off the bat, slip knot. If you don't know how to do a slip knot, I believe I show you guys in my slip stitch or my single crochet video, so you can go and watch that. Once you have it, stick your hook in. Make sure that you don't tie it off tight enough that it kind of is stuck in place. It should be able to slide around. Once you do that, we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Instead of working across and turning like you would with most crochet projects, for this, we're going to work in the round, which means we're going to work in a circle, getting bigger as we go. So I'm going to slip stitch into my very first chain. To show again where I'm going before I actually do the next thing. It's not right next to it like you would normally, so here's where you'd go if you're making a row. You're going to go all the way to the end, to the very end of it, where you can see the same kind of bump. Once you do that, do a slip stitch, which is just yarn over and pull through everything, and you will have this weird, funky little circle. We're going to be working where my finger is, because this over here is a stitch, we're working there. So, first we're going to chain 3, which is going to be our first double crochet. Once we've done that, you're going to yarn over and go into the center of our chains, the spot I showed you earlier. You're going to yarn over again and pull through just the center, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Again, we're going to yarn over, go into the center, yarn over again, pull through just the center, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. This is the first side of our granny square. Every side is made up of these little double crochet clusters of 3 stitches. When you start a row, your chain 3 is the first double crochet. When you go to turn a corner, you just chain 2 and then make another cluster. So since we're not starting a row, we're just going to yarn over in the center, yarn over through center, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. When we have all 4 sides, this will be our corner. So we just do that again. I'm trying to move slowly so you guys can see my movement. And that's 2 sides done. Now when I pull it into place, you can kind of see side, corner. So I'm going to do the corner again. And then go through again. And make my cluster of 3. It's really simple, really easy. There we go. Now we have 3 sides. And a square, in case you're wondering, has 4 sides. So we're going to do one more time. We're just making our cluster of 3. And this last corner is where things change a little bit. Instead of chaining 2, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to look for the top chain of your starting chain. So 1, 2, 3, this is our top one. I'm going to go into this after chaining 1. I'm going to slip stitch in it. and that will be our second chain in the corner. This is the first round of a granny square. It's cute, it's small, but we can get bigger. So, since we're starting another round, we're going to chain 3. And instead of working in the center hole, we're going to work in the corner hole. So I'm going to do the same process we've been doing of making a little cluster of 3 double crochet. And instead of going in the same hole, since this is round 2, I need 2 of these clusters per side. So I'm going to jump to the next corner. I'm going to go here instead. I'm not going to chain between it. I'm just going to do the next stitch and make my next little cluster. Now we have the side done, and we got to do the corner. So chain 2, just like the first round. And instead of going in the center or back here, we're going to go in the same corner, because you're going to have 2 of these per corner. So it's another cluster. Ta-da! This looks a little bit big. It'll look more normal as time goes on. But here is that same corner part we were talking about before. Now that I've done 1 in this corner, I do 1 here. And you just keep going around the same way. So I chained 2 to go to the next corner part. And you just make your rounds this way. Once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, you can go really fast with these, which is a lot of fun. So now we have one side, corner, another side, corner, start of a third side. So I'm going to finish the third side. Chain 2 for this corner over here. Go back in. We're going to go in here now. Just keeping on, keeping on. In the same way we did in the first round, instead of chaining 2 on our last corner, we're going to chain 1, and then identify 1, 2, 3 top chain of our original starting chain, and slip stitch into that instead. And now you have a square. This one is 2 rounds. Sometimes though, you're going to be running out of yarn, or you're going to want to change color. So when you get to this ending chain, we're going to go back a second. The last corner. If you want to change color, you chain 1, you go in like you're going to slip stitch in that top chain, and instead of pulling through with your original color, you're going to get some yarn from your new color and just pull that through. If you can do it right, unlike me. Haha, there we go. Done. And you're just going to pull that through instead. You're going to want to make sure you have a tail so it doesn't come undone. And you're going to want to pull everything nice and tight. When you go to work this new round, you'll go with the new yarn instead of the old yarn. So, I'm going to make another round because I'm also going to show you what to do to make 3 sides. So, I'm going to chain 3 with my new yarn. I'm going to pull my tail and my old yarn tight, and then I'm going to work into the corner like usual. When you go to do this, you can leave this yarn out and not worry about it. Because I don't like having to weave in ends, I make a point that when I'm doing it, I go in and I have my new yarn wrap around this because it'll just weave it in for me. That's just a little pro tip, but that's up to you what you're going to do with it. So I have my first part of this corner done. Now, in order to complete this row, I need to do 3 clusters because I am on round 3. Instead of jumping straight to the corner, there is this space here. It is between 2 clusters. So I have corner, spot here, corner. I am going to go into this spot here. This is where my 3rd cluster is going to be. Beautiful. Then I'm going to go in my corner. So now we have the side done. As you can kind of see, you have 1 cluster, 2 cluster, 3 cluster. And when you go to the next round, you'll have a corner here, and you'll have these 2 spots between clusters, and that's where your 2 extra ones will go. So you have 4 per side, and it'll just keep growing as you go. I'm going to go ahead and finish this round, and then I will meet you guys at the end of it. Okay, I am at the last corner of this granny square. If you wanted a bigger granny square, you would just continue on. You would just chain 1, do your slip stitch, and then just keep going the way I showed you. Going on to make the 4th row and the 5th row and however many you wanted to do. For me though, I like the size of this granny square. I think that it is a good size. It can be used for many things, for a blanket, for a jacket, as a decorative pocket. So I want to finish the square off. Fathom, I hear you asking, how do I do that? Don't worry, I got you. So what we're gonna do is chain 1 and slip stitch into the top stitch of our starting chain, like before. And now, instead of continuing to chain, we're gonna grab this, and we're going to grab a pair of scissors, which I have my cute little tool container to grab from. Show off my cute little thread scissors. And you're just going to go and leave a little bit of a tail and just, oh gosh, we're free falling. There is no working yarn attached anymore. Instead of panicking or pulling out this way, you're going to use the hook and pull like that. And the magic trick is when I go to pull this now, it just tightens. It does not pull out any stitches. So there is our beautiful granny square. I think that this is a great skill to have. You can just sit and make hundreds of these. You can make jackets out of them. You can make pants out of them. You can make skirts. If you can do this, you can also make things such as a granny triangle where you just make 3 sides. You can make a half square in order to kind of finish something off and have this finished shape here. Or what I'm hoping to do a tutorial on eventually is you can even make a granny hexagon, which is 6-sided. And out of that, if you fold it right, you actually get a full-blown cardigan. You just make 2 big ones. So I'm hoping to eventually show you guys that, but for now, that is going to be today's video. I hope this tutorial helped. Feel free to let me know in the comments if there's any other tutorials you'd like me to make. Any certain stitches, any certain types of patterns, let me know. I'll be happy to try and make them. If you liked this video, feel free to like it, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, and if you'd like to see what I sell, feel free to look at my Square site or my Etsy page, all of which are in the description down below. I, for now, am gonna go and edit this footage before I go on an adventure, because I'm going to hang out with people in the new city I'm moving to. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.